Hello, I'd like to deposit this to checking.
Fate is a fickle master.
What?
The future is uncertain.
Okay, and what's my account balance?
The horizon is cloudy. I see a long, treacherous voyage filled with great peril.
Look, can I just get a deposit slip or something?
A fortune bank teller. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I see a yellow-eyed serpent and a low APR.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. It's our last show of the year, Tony. What's going to be your favorite memory from 2017?
I'm Tony Kornheiser, co-hosting this show with Pablo.
Can I ask the question?
Sure.
Who or what is a Pablo?
Yeah, so I really shouldn't have said that because I've given it thought in the last 10 seconds, and it's with Isola.
Oh. Except, did you ever do the show with Isola?
I think I've done the show with Isola.
Because I do the show all the time with
Almost
Isola.
all the time.
What is Pablo?
Pablo Torre?
Is it a stuffed toy?
Well, he's young enough to be a stuffed toy.
Okay.
No, he's not a stuffed toy.
Oh.
He went to Harvard.
Did he go to Harvard?
Harvard.
That's your account.
Welcome to our last PTI of 2017, boys and girls. In today's episode, the Lakers beat the Rockets, Dabo Swinney throws shade, and could Kirk Cousins be the next quarterback of the Broncos? But we begin today with the NFL fining the Seattle Seahawks $100,000 for that incident in Week 10 against the Arizona Cardinals when Russell Wilson went in and out of the concussion tent faster than Usain Bolt. Wilbon, what effect will this fine have on the rest of the league?
It's incentive. $100,000? Is that all? To violate the concussion protocol? That's an attaboy. I was at that game. And I just remember
that was a Thursday
Russell
game.
went a Thursday night game.
Yeah.
Russell goes off the field, and I think he had to miss one play. But he was back on the field so quickly, I didn't see him go through the 10. He was faster than Usain Bolt. But, Tony, so it's disincentive, right? And they're going to have to change it, and they're going to have to make it, they'll make it $500,000 on the way to $1 million.
It's a joke. It's a joke because if I had a team that I thought was a playoff caliber team and I could get my quarterback back out there like that, I would take $100,000 is the cost of making hot dogs in the friends and family room at most stadiums. And this is what bothers me.
What?
This is NHL justice. Russell Wilson didn't have a concussion. So you don't have to fine a whole lot of money because he walked away and he was fine. If he'd had a concussion,
one, do you think
would it be $100,000?
No, they couldn't because it's jointly agreed to by the league and the NFL.
Here's where I think we're going to agree. If you do this again, it is going to go to $500,000 and $1 million and $1.5 million and stuff like that. Because this is ridiculously low.
Well, I mean, this
is not about player safety, then, Mike. The concussion protocol tent is player safety.
I think we both also agree. Player safety is about the optics first of player safety, right?
It's not enough. This is not. It's no fine at all. It isn't. It's no fine.
Kornheiser tip money is what that is.
Pretty much.
Vikings coach Mike Zimmer has a slightly different take on head injuries that result from throws to the middle of the field. As a defensive coach for most of his 40 years in football, Zimmer says a great many passes into traffic should not be thrown. He added, quote, I think they could take a bunch of these plays out if the quarterbacks wouldn't throw the ball into places they shouldn't throw the ball. Close quote. Tony, is Zimmer right? Our offense is being careless or reckless to have receivers run those routes.
It's really not my tip money. It's basically Wilbon's shoe money over the course of the year. Are they careless? Are they reckless? Are they paying attention to the new rules? And are they trying to take advantage of the new rules? I understand Mike Zimmer's point of view. He's from that side of the ball. And he knows that the rules now are not good for defensive backs. Because now if there's a head-to-head hit, you're going to get
defenseless receiver.
You're going to get 15 yards. You can be thrown out of the game. You can be suspended. So do offenses, does that invite them to send people over the middle and try and get the best thing, the catch and the penalty? Yes, it does. That brings us back to player safety because it's a disregard. It's a disregard of player safety.
Who's disregarding it?
Well, I think that Mike Zimmer is suggesting that the offenses are.
What do you mean if they are? It's like when you lower your head as an offensive player, you know you make the defensive player vulnerable for the penalty, not you, because you're not going to be penalized.
So it's the offensive side of the ball.
You know Mike Zimmer, who, yes, is a defensive ace. You know he was a quarterback in his young days?
I did not know that.
So Mike Zimmer was. But, Tony, I remember the great Jerry Rice talking to me about how dangerous it was back when the 49ers were one of the few teams, Steve Young and Jerry Rice, and Joe before that. And Jerry talked about the danger of running the pattern. And he talked about wanting to have the ball thrown here by Joe or Steve to allow him to defend himself.
Right.
And people just wouldn't run it. It was too dangerous. And now everybody can run it because they know you can't hit them.
Well, this is the point.
So what do you do about it?
So it's chess at the moment. If I change the rule that penalizes the defensive player more than it did in the past when they were able to just lay people out, then if I'm an offensive guy, I'm going to start sending people over the middle. I don't want him to get hurt, but if I can throw the ball there and I get the 15 yards, I'm happy.
You're not as accurate as Joe or Steve.
Some guys
and
aren't.
you're throwing it, as Jerry Rice would say, don't throw it here because I'm going to get my head knocked off.
The difference between you and I is that you would say eliminate the helmet-to-helmet penalty, and I would say make it safer all the way around. The Washington Redskins play the Denver Broncos on Sunday in an also-ran game. The matchup of these losing teams led the Denver Post to speculate whether Denver's salvation at quarterback could be Kirk Cousins. Denver will certainly get an eyeful of him on Sunday. Wilbon, do you believe adding Kirk Cousins would solve John Elway's quarterback problem?
What do the Broncos do, Tony? And Coach Vance Joseph said, quote, he's a special guy when talking about this matchup. He's talking about Kirk Cousins. Since it starts with him, I'm loath to read your numbers, but I'm going to give you a couple.
You hate numbers.
Since 2015, so 3 years as a starter, his 68% completion percentage trails only Drew Brees and Sam Bradford.
Don't give me analytics.
Wait.
Don't give me analytics.
Wait. Tony, how about this one? His yards per attempt, third in that time, 3 years, almost 3 years, behind only Matt Ryan and Tom Brady. His quarterback rating behind only Brady, Brees, and Ryan.
He's one of the 12 best quarterbacks
Well, so
in the
if
league.
that's the case, if you believe any of those numbers, and I know you believe all the numbers all the time.
I do.
Then Denver, get him.
I'm going to give you other teams. I'm going to give you Denver. I'm going to give you Jacksonville. I'm going to give you Arizona. I'm going to give you Houston. I'm going to tell you that all of those teams are either in the playoffs this year or have recently been in the playoffs.
Okay.
The problem is you don't know what the Washington Redskins are going to do. They can franchise them for a record third. It's going to cost them $34 million. They can do this for a record third time. And this is the Washington Redskins. The question facing the Washington Redskins, and yes, he would help Denver because they don't have a quarterback at the moment, even your boy. They don't have one. The Washington Redskins have to decide, is the coach that they have now the coach that they want going forward to build a new quarterback? Because Kirk Cousins is going to leave.
That would suggest
First
order.
chance, leave.
That would suggest order and some sort of decision-making that was responsible and reflective and led to winning.
Denver has a Super Bowl quality defense.
Well, it doesn't matter if you don't have a quarterback.
That's why they want Kirk Cousins.
League, this is a quarterback league.
Yeah, that's why they want Kirk Cousins.
If you're Cousins, where would you want to play next year? Of the places you could play and be a contender right away, where would you play?
Somewhere other than here, if I could. I'm sure he wanted to go to either the Rams or the 49ers, and those options appear closed right now.
Taken, yeah. Rare occurrence last night, Tony, an NBA upset in Houston. The Rockets seemed to be a lock.
I thought you called this.
Well, I thought for their 15th straight win, but lost to the Lakers. Kyle Kuzma, who you haven't even heard of yet.
Really? You mean Kuz Control? You think I don't know him?
He scored.
You don't think I know he went to Utah?
38
you think
last
I know he was
night.
born in
Got
Flint,
a producer
Michigan?
In your ear
No,
to lead the Lakers to victory. The Rockets have to care more, Tony, about Chris Paul injuring his adductor. Not his abductor, his adductor, which you can tell us all about, Dr. Kornheiser. Anyway, you want to make a pronouncement on either team based on last night?
I mean, you didn't learn anything about Houston that you didn't already know. Chris Paul's a good player, and if he's out of the game, it hurts them. You can't have your best player score 51 points and lose. I mean, it's okay.
You can.
Here's what I learned about the Lakers because of Kuzma, who I have followed, because I know a little bit about how much they wanted him. Kuzma and Lonzo Ball, who's going to be real good.
Yes.
And then they've got Ingram, right? And they've got Randall still. So next year,
when
LeBron James and Paul George go to Los Angeles Lakers, then right then and there, they are a title contending team, and it's them and the Warriors. And that's what I learned. And tell me I'm wrong.
I got to say to you, I watched the Rockets for a different reason. They're now. And you wonder whether they can challenge Golden State and whether if they got into it with Boston or Cleveland. But that's fair to wonder. Fair. They got a damn good team. It's well coached. They have stars. They have all the requisite stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I watched the Lakers. All I care about right now is which one of these guys would look great with LeBron. And that's just completely unfair. But Kuzma can shoot it. Yep. He's poised. He's got size. What a pick at number 27 in the first round.
Thank you for saying that, because 27 is a way down on the chart.
Yeah.
And I figured it was a joke. 3 of the last 4 years, I figured guys would be out of the league. And one guy I've never heard of, Pascal Siakam.
Okay.
But Larry Nance Jr. is in the league and
On
playing
that
on the
team.
Lakers.
Yeah.
And Bogdanovich, I think,
In
is a
the
good
league.
player and a
Yeah,
scorer.
Indy.
And Rudy Gobert
about
was
that?
27. So it's not a joke.
Wasn't Jimmy Butler 27?
That I don't know. That's he's your
back,
count.
27, 28, something like that.
We move now to what might be the
May have been
beginning of
30.
bad blood between Dabo Swinney and your boy Urban Meyer, two of the preeminent college football coaches. Swinney snagged a 5-star offensive lineman recruit yesterday out from under Urban's nose in Ohio. The recruit said he chose Clemson because the 48-year-old Swinney told him that the 53-year-old Meyer, difference of 5 years, already in the back end of his career. Wilbon, are you okay with Dabo Swinney's negative recruiting tactics?
By the way, I'm told from the magic box into my ear that Jimmy Butler was 30th.
Okay.
Tony, if that's the worst thing that's said in recruiting, you could simply ask the coach if you want to, well, how much older or younger are you than the guy you just slammed? And you could do that, but parents won't do that. If that's the worst thing that's said and it's not, I can't get riled up over that.
It's completely fair to negatively recruit.
Of course.
It's completely
and they do it,
fair.
and everybody does it.
And by the
I'm
way,
sure Urban Meyer said about somebody's campus, you want to go to that little frog pond?
Right.
I'm sure he's
and
done
so
that
you
at some
tell
point.
me why the kid wouldn't pick Clemson over Ohio State, because Swinney owns Urban Meyer. He beat him in a bowl game 4 years ago. In the national championship semifinals last year, he beat him 31-0.
Yeah.
So that's why you do that. And the reason this is really bad for Urban Meyer is because here are the 3 schools you can't lose a kid to. Michigan is one, obviously. Right. And then Alabama and Clemson, because you're a contender for the national championship, as are they. That's a bad loss for him.
Yeah.
He should have babysat that kid better.
He's probably got another kid who's better. It's football.
Well, it's a 5-star.
Who the hell knows?
Well,
5-star. So what?
Better than 3.
These guys
better
all,
than 4.
you know what? All these kids are pumped up, and people say they're 5-star the moment the recruiting service finds out they're being recruited. It's like in basketball. The kid was 3 stars until Mike Krzyzewski came to his house. He became 5 stars. Don't believe this.
You want to recruit against Urban Meyer? You point to Utah, you point to Florida and Ohio State, and you say, how long is he going to stay there, kid? Let's take a break. When we come back, am I right? Of course I am. The Patriots' banning of Tom Brady's guru is a big deal. We're going to ask Steve Young.
We'll also ask him whether it's already time for the Niners to shower Jimmy Garoppolo in long-term guaranteed money.
Are you changing on him on Garoppolo? Because I think he's good.
He's a Chicago boy. I'm going to like him. Okay. But let's not make it.
Pardon the Interruption is presented by Captain Morgan. Holiday like a captain. Please drink responsibly. Part of Happy Hour. And in part by the United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
Help protect what matters with the ADT Safer, Smarter New Year's sales event. For a limited time, get an ADT Security Starter Kit. Everything you need to get started with ADT Pulse, including a security panel, keypad, a motion sensor, and 2 entry sensors. Plus, there's an indoor camera and key fob, all professionally installed for only $49. It's a $599 savings that comes with a warm, confident feeling of safety at home. Requires 36-month monitoring contract, QSP, and Easy Pay. Activation and early termination fees may apply. Certain markets excluded. Licenses available at ADT.com. Florida EF 0001121. Louisiana F1639. Visit ADT.com/podcast. Hurry. This special offer now ends 1/21.
Welcome back to Pardon the Interruption. Presented by Captain Morgan. Part of Happy Hour.
Years back, Steve Young and I both starred in the NFL, and Wilbon covered us.
Oh, wow.
But now we all
Tough
work
time.
together. We welcome ESPN NFL analyst, Hall of Fame quarterback Steve Young back to the program. Let us start with this. The Patriots have banned Tom Brady's trainer/guru. I think this is an enormous deal, and Wilbon doesn't.
I'm laughing at it.
Where do you come down on this?
I can't believe that they actually had to, have your own guy that's in the team plane going with you and all the team functions. I don't even know how they allowed it to get to this place. But, yeah, it can't be a big deal. You don't need him next to you. You're 40 years old. He knows everything he's doing. He's an expert at all the things that this guy gave him, 15 years ago anyway. So I think the only way it's a big deal if there's some kind of rift between Belichick and Brady, because this
is
guy
my whole
is
point.
in between.
That is my whole point. You are saying to your Hall of Fame quarterback, I'm bigger than you, and so you can't have this thing that you've had for X amount of years. And if that ruptures, that's
a big
terrible.
If that's what's happening, it's a big deal. But if it's legal, coming to him and saying, hey, look, this guy's being sued and we don't want to get in the middle of it, you got to get rid of him, Tom, and it's collaborative, then that's no big deal. So, right. You know what? You're both right. You just don't know the context because truly, if it's that, because sooner or later it gets to that, right? I'm the reason why. No, I'm the reason why. And then if they've been able to manage that tremendously. If that starts to devolve, that's a problem.
All right, so follow up on it just for a second. Is this trending? Personal gurus? Have you seen junk like this? I mean, if you played today, would you have somebody who you value ahead of like most of the team coaches? It seems insane to me.
Not in a way that it was like a big role. I mean, if somebody was in charge of my footwork, because to me, footwork is quarterbacking. So if someone says, hey, look, I'm going to watch your feed and I'll keep you posted, Mike Shanahan used to do that for me. Like, just watch the film, watch the bottom half of the film, just show me your feet, tell me what you think. And inevitably, if you say at the end of the film, you're like, my feet were pretty good. He said, yeah, you played well. I mean, it was really one-to-one. So that, small little, someone wants to help my motion a little bit that says on the edges, maybe. But if someone's coming in to kind of revamp me and tell me that all these big issues that I need to change and do stuff, it's like, look, I got here. I know how to get that. You want to help me on the edges, fine. But no one who's going to come in and fundamentally be a big part of my, the guru
and
of what I'm trying to accomplish.
No avocado smoothies. Nobody was feeding you that thing.
Well, that's fine. Look, it's all good. Hey, my wife, that's all I eat is avocado smoothies. So, what am I kidding? I already have my guru. I'm good to go.
Steve, you told Mike Golick and Trey Wingo on radio that the Jaguars could topple Tom Brady and the Patriots. What are you seeing from Jacksonville that puts you in that frame of mind that you like so much?
Well, remember the last season with Peyton Manning when his arm was hurt and that defense just rolled through. Seattle did it 5-6 years ago. They just rolled through. And they had enough of an offense, a running game, and a quarterback that didn't screw it up and actually helped a little bit. And that defense starts to feel this way. Now, I got to watch the next couple of weeks, but this Jacksonville Jaguar defense starts to make me feel like there's one of these big defenses, the Ravens. I don't want to say they're all the way there, but it feels that way. So to me, going to New England and shutting down the Patriot offense and having them under 14 and somehow Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette figure out how to put up 21, I could see that. That's not far-fetched in my mind.
Jimmy Garoppolo has won his first 3 starts for the Niners and thrown for more than 1,000 yards. Have you seen enough already, Steve, to simply tell the Niners, bring the blank check, let's go?
Well, I think they were going to generally do that anyway. I mean, he was an established player that had been through a great system, that's seen how it's supposed to be done. That's half the battle. I always watching Joe was so important to me because I knew what the standard was. I knew you can't all this mitigating factors in the quarterback, the 1,000 of things you could blame as a reason not to be great. It's like, no, here's what you got to do. And Jimmy knows that. I think it's really effective, and you can see that he's already helped the team, stabilize the team. They have someone to look up to. They look at him as a veteran, even though he's only played 6 games. He's like, oh, this guy's been around a long time. That's the kind of image that you want. So, yeah, you have to sign him, and now spend all your draft picks and money, $100 million. Go find all the receivers and defensive line, all the people you need to go make this team and make the transition from worst to first super fast.
I would get you out of here on this. It's a personal question. You're a Hall of Fame quarterback. That's your position. That game last week between Pittsburgh and New England was the best game of the year, and it ended in the most dramatic way possible. When you watched what Roethlisberger did on that last play, you thought what?
I thought I'm going to hold him accountable to veteran quarterbacks and played a long time. I don't care who's in your ear. I don't care what to say on the sideline or what play they call. In the end, when you're in that situation, you are the master of your domain. You make the decisions. You might take the call from the sidelines and do it. You might not. But whatever you end up doing is yours. And that's what he did. He ended up doing exactly what he wanted to do. And it ended up being a really poor choice. I mean, if you're going to fake spike against the New England Patriots, the best coached team in the league, and you've already done it once this year, probably not a great decision, whoever it came from, but you're the one that has to do it. You can say you're a veteran. You say, look, I'm not doing that. But you decide to do it, and now you fake it, and you look up, and it doesn't work, and you're going to keep pump, and now you're going to bring in 22 guys into play. He knows that was the second and a half is like, oh my gosh, that was the worst thing that could ever happen. And so you put it on his head. The quarterback, a veteran quarterback, that's what they're supposed to be able to do. And when it doesn't get done, it was a complete screw up. Okay, doesn't mean that you're a bad quarterback, doesn't mean you can't go win a Super Bowl. I mean, in that situation, that was bad.
It's great to have him on.
That is the last word right there.
Thanks,
Steve. Appreciate it.
All right, boys. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Merry
Everybody
Christmas.
have a great vacation. All right, see ya.
Let's take one last break. Still to come, SMU's new head football coach has a difficult debut.
And the hottest team in the Eastern Conference goes for its 8th win in a row tonight, and they can't get it. Can't get it.
Haven't I told you how good Steve Young is?
You told me. You told me.
Pardon the Interruption is presented by Captain Morgan. Holiday like a captain. Please drink responsibly. Part of Happy Hour.
Happy time, people. Happy 30th birthday, Chris Davis. Davis hit a combined 85 home runs the last 2 seasons. And you're thinking, yeah, Chris Davis of Baltimore, big power hitter. No, the other Chris Davis. Chris Davis with a K on Oakland. And you're thinking, who? And that's the point. He hit 43 this year and 42 last year.
Well, Chris Davis with a C of the Orioles, he hit 85 in 2015 and 16. Crush Davis. I don't remember you wishing him happy birthday.
Today's not his birthday.
How do you know that?
Happy anniversary, Nick Saban. On this day 11 years ago, as coach of the Dolphins,
Why didn't I say that?
you told the assembled Miami media that, quote, I'm not going to be the Alabama coach, unquote. 2 weeks later, you were the Alabama coach. I know how they feel because Nick Saban said the exact same thing to me. He said unequivocally he was not going to be the Alabama coach. Wilbon, let me ask you a question. Where is Nick Saban right now?
He's landed in a place that leads me to never believe what he says anyway.
He's the Alabama
only
coach.
time. He is the Alabama coach. Oops.
He's great at it,
Yeah,
but
he is.
lied about it. Happy trails to Sonny Dykes' debut at SMU. SMU got crushed last night by Louisiana Tech in one of those dopey bowl games, 51-10. Sonny Dykes was coaching the bowl game because the previous SMU coach left for Arkansas. How did it go? Well, fumble on the first snap, 6 turnovers in the game, including the first 3 offensive possessions. Hard to say it went well.
You watching any of these bowl games? Do
A little
you
bit
watch
here
them?
and there, a
You
little
do.
bit here and there. I watch Lane Kiffin because I like him and I know you don't. One omission,
Got
the
that
NFL has instructed referees to not use an index card to measure a first down going
Yes, so
forward.
I had that right
That's
on
a good
Monday.
idea. Isn't
You
it? Big
did.
finish. Here we go.
Let's do it.
The Bulls go for their 8th straight at the Cavs tonight. Do you like their chances?
At Cleveland. LeBron paying attention and playing well.
Yeah.
By the way, Isaiah Thomas tonight, you think? I don't think.
No.
No, not yet. Defending national champion North Carolina lost at home to Wofford. That's a huge deal.
It may be the biggest upset in the history of the state of North Carolina basketball, and they invented college basketball. A semi-truck
Indiana,
skidded off a
Kentucky,
road in Oregon, ended up in Evan Turner's swimming pool. Your reaction to that?
If they dumped out a certain product, I might like it.
Ferragamo shoes?
Bingo. That's a good place
Gotta
to
be
start.
waterproof.
You like that? An Australian rugby player had half a finger amputated so he won't miss the start of the season. You impressed?
Derivative. Ronnie Lott. Derivative. Last one, the Bad Boy Mowers Gasparilla Bowl tonight.
Come on.
Temple at Florida International. Just make a pick.
I'd pick if I knew the difference between FIU and FAU. Do you know the difference?
No.
Good.
No, they're both in Florida. Lorenzo went to one of them. I don't know which one. We're out of time. We'll try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. We're off until Tuesday, January 2nd, Knuckleheads. Happy holidays to everybody. Eggnog. Eggnog. Lots of
He likes
eggnog.
that. Riley Thompson of Ithaca. Shout out.